start. Alright, I'm here. Welcome, fellas here. Welcome. I had to skip the other demo for now. We're gonna try again tomorrow for that after I do my co-op with James. As I anticipated, I know it's PC because notifications actually happened. Yeah, it usually does. That's the benefit of why eventually I do want my PC to be as good as my PS5 in some retrospects, because sometimes this thing is more reliable when it comes to YouTube. But I was gonna do a different demo today. I got back kind of late, but also I was trying some experiments with the other game. I think that one might be pushing the limit. So we'll have to see. I'm gonna try again tomorrow and mess with some more settings. See if I can get it to run and render properly on my computer. But we will try it again. So we're gonna do the other main demo I had for today as well, which is this one. This one I've been looking forward to the most. This will be on PS5, however, eventually. The demo is only on Steam, but this game is on PS5, so I will be getting this on PS5 just for performance enhancement of the game, and for the graphics to look a lot better. So what we'll see today will be the computer's version of this, and you'll get to see the comparison of when you switch over to PS5. This is why I need to upgrade this thing, but like I said, I've realized buying a new one is just better at this point. With the way the market works and the way things are now, it's just better to, at this point, transfer my hard drive and all that over to a new one and just add a new computer. Especially the prices I've seen, so. And those stuffs are still better than mine. But welcome, Farseer. Welcome, everyone. Let me know if you can't hear me. And there's a less than 0% chance point flag might be added. Might be added to Uma Musume. That'd be a strange... It would be a strange ad, I guess, if you think about it. Give everyone a chance to join up, too. Also, I had to run out real quick because I got an important phone. Because I had put on reserve and ordered a certain truck as a little model truck that I used to have. A smaller version, but now I've got the bigger one. From my childhood when I had a few little model vehicles when I was young. OBS is still lerping a little bit, but that could also be my phone kind of showing that. She was a racehorse? Oh, I did not know that. I guess that makes sense, but still, I don't remember hearing about her as much, other than the fact of her reputation more than her race reputation. It's like Alright. Give it about 10 minutes at most here, let everyone have a chance to join in for tonight. And then we'll get going on our little demo profile. I don't know how much is really going to be in here. I assume this demo isn't very long because this game is actually pretty lengthy. From what I've seen. It's since this is choice-based completely in this game, off of the same crew who did the same thing. And yes, the crew is actually in here. They don't have voices, but that makes sense. I mean, unless the full game ends up having voices and they're keeping that on the down low. But I have a feeling that That would have been just way more expensive to try to get the entire cast back voice-wise for the game. But the likenesses and how they look and the character portraits and their models all look basically like the actual thing. And have their personalities and all that in the text. Now, I'll have to voice them, which is going to be terrible when I have to voice 7 of 9. But or even technically Janeway herself to a certain extent, but here's the promenade, or the mess hall. Until I know the ship too much. Her career was average. That's probably why. So that's probably why I didn't know about her as much. Other than her reputation with gold and all that. It's like, yeah, the absolute terror that she was, but not on the track. She placed second and third in 3 important races and only won 1. Okay. Second's not bad, but that ain't winning either, right? Like, it's kind of like NASCAR. It's like Ricky Bob. If you ain't first, you're last. You gotta shake and bake your horse to the front. You see, did better than Nice Nature, who won no races. That's true, Nice Nature didn't do too well either, to be fair. What did they say? You're either famous or you're infamous? Nice Nature's more infamy, right? She's only famous because of, you could kind of argue, because of the kind of somewhat terrible pace that she had and didn't really win anything. You know, like the infamy of Kitasan. Never gonna let it go. Alright, let's do this. New game. Profile 1. You are the captain of the Federation starship USS Voyager. Manage your ship and crew, plot a course through the procedurally generated star systems. Yeah, that's another thing. Your unique shipbuilding decisions will make and reshape your destiny, basically. Ooh. Captain Janeway, a new ship, a new crew, a new mission. Today we embark on a mission to locate a Maquis vessel that has disappeared in the Badlands. So this is the opening of Star Trek Voyager. Starfleet intelligence believes these terrorists have acquired dangerous new technology. My chief of security, Tuvok, is undercover aboard that ship. I haven't received communication from him in over a week. The Badlands are treacherous. I can only hope he's safe. In the meantime, I have a starship to prepare for launch and a crew to assemble. Speaking of which, our final 2 crew members have just arrived, Ensign Harry Kim and Tom Paris. It seems I have a few introductions to make. Yeah, I'm never going to be able to do Janeway, but see, they, like I said, they do have their likenesses. Gentlemen, welcome to Voyager. Not B'Elanna yet. She would be standing here, technically, but we don't have Chakotay yet either, so... Gentlemen, welcome to Voyager. What do I click continue at? Oh, what? It didn't continue! Okay, well, we're gonna start over anyways when the full game comes out. That was weird. Did I misread that button? It looked like it said left click to continue. Maybe it was a different button. into the Badlands. Well, it doesn't matter at this point. We'll show more off of this game as we go forward. That was a misclick on my half. The Badlands, a treacherous region of space where violent plasma storms can cripple even the most advanced starships. Captain Janeway observes the swirling chaos from the view screen, a subtle smile playing on her lips. She's ready for the challenge. There's Kim. So what is the... yeah. Oh, it worked that time. Okay, I don't know what's going on. What happened there? It's your time to shine, Mr. Paris. Any idea where your former colleagues might be hiding? I wasn't exactly Maquis of the Year, Captain. But they did prefer underground bases, remote planets, and... Captain, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm reading a coherent Tetrion beam scanning us. And a displacement wave is heading our way. There's the wave. Incoming, a colossal wave of turbulent energy surges towards Voyager, its power dwarfing anything the crew has ever seen before. With no time to analyze the threat, emergency measures are initiated. Red alert, helm, evasive maneuvers. No effect, the wave will intercept in 5 seconds. Brace for impact. I like that it's literally just the open, like, it's a digital version of the opening of the original Star Trek Voyager. They did a good job with this already, I can tell. Just by the animations and the storytelling. Like I said, there's not voice acting in this, but this game is kind of like FTL, where your choices are going to matter. So technically, we can actually completely do differently with Janeway than she did in the actual show. Meaning we can full Borg our ship, technically. We can go and fully become full Maquis and become an absolute terror. Or we could embrace that maybe this is the alternate timeline and create the other version of Voyager. Let me read what I missed. Well, that's enough horse racing. Time to talk about space. It's not possible in Sins 2 to fight the Union, Stargate, and the Empire. And the Empire of the Federation. Or as the Federation. Oh, wow. That's really... yeah, Sins 2's catching up pretty quick. I do want to revisit it once we get a chance. All 4 mods are balanced to be compatible with each other. That's cool. See, I like when mods do that. When you can have, like, I did that with Stellaris once, I think. Where I had a whole different plethora of stuff. I had, like, Stargate in there. I had, like, Halo in there. Covenant and UNSC. I had Star Trek, which was just... I think I just had Federation for that one. Star Wars. They were all there. I think I did this in Sense 1 also, or at least a different version of it. That's cool, though. Alright. Aftermath. As the crew regains consciousness, they find the bridge is in total devastation. Twisted metal. Wait, what? Whoa. How does Sweet Tooth fit on this deck? No, I'm just kidding. Sparking consoles and injured crewmates paint a grim picture. What just happened? Oh, wow. The bridge actually does look really messed up. It looks like the bridge, like, I like that they're modeled after the set and what it looked like during these situations. So, it's good, like I said. The attention to detail in all of this. Oh, even Janeway even gets in her little pose. Her little captain's stance she likes to have when she's looking around. I like that. That's small attention to detail. And that's stuff you pay attention to in a game like this when you can't get the big stuff like the actual voice actress in this case or something like that. Damage report. Major hull and deck damage. The transporters are offline and we're receiving casualty reports. Bridge to sickbay. Doctor, I've got injured crew on the bridge. Doctor? Damn. Captain, we're losing systems across multiple decks. The deuterium tanks are empty. Warp core's gone into gray mode. We're on reserves, barely. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Scan for the nearest source of deuterium. External sensors are offline. Stellar cartography must be down. Voyager's blind, Captain. Here we go. Now you get to see the part that's kind of like the FTL part, but also a lot of other games like this, kind of XCOM too, when it comes to base management. Janeway to engineering. We need stellar cartography back online now. Welcome to the tutorial. Click on the question mark icon on the left of the screen to okay. On the on controller, because this is on console, press D-pad left twice. Some additional tutorials will not pop up during gameplay, but automatically appear in the tutorial list too. Oh, here. Activate room, tutorial, okay. Check out the new tutorial screens. Okay, close. So, so activate room. Activate the stellar cartography in the lower left part of the ship. So, find stellar cartography, and we need to switch it on. To activate it, open up its menu by selecting the room and switching the power supply. Alright, so... Oh no, is that you? That is you. Switch on. Captain, sensors are picking up something out there, but... What Harry is trying to stammer is... We're not in the Badlands anymore. Nope, we're next to the caretaker. I'm probably gonna geek out a little bit on this series just because it's does a good job of representing all the choices and places you'll come across. What is that thing? Where are we? Oh, whoa, okay. If our sensors are working, we just jumped over 70,000 light years into the Delta Quadrant. The Delta Quadrant? How? Captain, life support systems are failing. This array will have to wait. Mr. Paris, take the helm. Find us a deuterium source. Alright, scan points of interest. Now we get to see the map. Oh, yep, there's the menu in the background. You're going to see why I like this game. Scan points of interest. Marked with the white question marks. To reveal resources. Okay. Alright, so... I'm trying to, see if I recognize any of these planets. Ooh, okay. I think I know what that might be. I'm gonna try the nearest because it's only one cycle away. Scan. Now we can get some deuterium. So that planet did have it. Navigate your ship by traveling to various locations. So click the ship, click new location, set course. While traveling, time passes in form of cycles. When visiting points of interest, you can choose between different approaches, with different risks and outcomes. The different colors of the chance bar represent the possible outcomes. Excellent, dark green. Good, light green. Oh, there's no excellent on that one. It's only light green, then it turns orange. And good, light green. Outcomes, more outcomes. More rewards likely, extra resources, or morale increase. Average is yellow, can include minor setbacks. Bad is, there's no yellow here either. Bad is orange and terrible is red. Outcomes provide low rewards and medium to major setbacks like destroyed rooms, hull damage, or severe injuries. Collect and store deuterium to charge. Warp core to tier 1. Okay, set course. And then, of course, you can zoom in. Voyager flies over here. This is like the tactical map. If you think of this kind of even though it's not, I don't control the ship, at least the whole thing, manually with the control. I think you just give orders and they do different things during the battle. Kind of like an Uma Musume tactical game, basically. But for Star Trek. Destroy the vessel and salvage the debris. If we had torpedo launch bays online, we could blow it up and take more. Oh, I think I'm gonna enjoy it. The choices we're gonna end up being crazy enough to be able to do. Oh man. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So it's kind of like a tactical game. But as far as map concerned, this kind of works like the kind of works similar to a mixture between a mini Stellaris map mixed with a Total War tactical map. So now when you get into combat, that's where it's going to seem more like Uma Musume, but I can give orders and stuff like that. As far as I know. If I'm able to actually drive the ship, that'll make this even better. But I don't think you do. I think you just give orders. So, leave the storage alone and focus on salvaging from other parts of the ship. So, we can have a slight yellow reaction to this, but it's an almost guaranteed green reaction. So, let's get that. Yep. I like how you see it bouncing back and forth to see where it might land. Well, nice. We got 404. Captain, we can now deactivate gray mode. Captain, Captain, we are ready to increase warp core output. Okay, next part. The warp core is the yeah, see, this is the thing. This game has a lot, and I do mean a lot, to manage. That's what I think intrigues me about this game. It's like almost a simulator in a way. Like you're simulating being different members of the crew simultaneously. It's crazy. Still waiting for the UNCF from Space Battleship Yamato to be added to Sins 2. That mod is still in development. Oh, nice. It's not the original anime version of SBY. Oh, it's the $21.99 anime version. Okay. That one is cool, too. I like both, but that is cool. It'd be different to see that one instead of the original, because a lot of people do the original. Oh, excuse me. The warp core is the reactor that powers the ship. To generate energy, it continuously consumes deuterium. Depending on the reactor level, you can produce more energy, but use more deuterium is required. Use of more deuterium is required. Increase the power output by selecting main engineering and switching the warp core to a higher tier. I assume we want to be on tier 1. Because we're in gray mode. Gray mode basically conserves energy. Which, if I learn how to min-max this better, I might actually put gray mode on depending on scenarios so we don't use as much deuterium. I assume that's a big, important thing. So. Alright, going to engineering. We are activating tier 1. Our energy levels are now returning to normal, Captain. Good. Now, what about this thing? This array. I can't tell, Captain. But our scanners detected a Maquis vessel next to it. Sensor array chance. Oh, there's a optional try hailing them. Hail them. No response, Captain. Scan. Scan the ship for life signs, Ensign. There's no one on board, Captain. Scan array level 1. Ooh, let's see. Okay, so this is why you want to level up your ship parts, too. So, we have it's decent. It's 40 plus a 35% increase. So, it's technically 70-something. What about the array? Success. Several life forms on board, Captain. Is one of them Vulcan? I'm not sure, Captain. The signals are weak. We'll just have to see for ourselves. I want the transporter room repaired and ready. Mr. Paris, get us to a deuterium deposit. We needed to repair the transporter room. I like that we can scan from any distance, but we have to travel there. So we need... That's 3 cycles away? Oof. 4. Oh! That's a Talaxian freighter. I wonder if that's Neelix. Can you tell I know so much about this series? Is it too much? Who knows? Alright, that's this closest one is this one right here. Let's try this one. Scan. It has deuterium, but we don't know how much. Well, yeah. See, if we had the stellar cartography upgraded, it would tell us if it's worth it or not. I see. Okay, I already like what this game is doing. Set course. Alright, so same thing. It'll be 373. Yeah, you get so much more for having torpedoes for this. Ooh, still good though. 373. Tutorial mission. Basic resources. Keep track of your resources in the main hub. Deuterium, your fuel that powers the warp drive. Deuterium and tritanium, essential for construction and repair. Crew. Crew is needed to operate key systems and rooms. So how do I access the oh, here we go. Oh, it's number 1. It's probably a button for that on the other one. So where is transporter room? See, seeing it from the side, I'm not actually good. My control works. So is that it? That's engineering. I'm trying to remember where transport is. It's been a while. Isn't it on the upper decks? It's one of these somewhere. Just gotta find out which one. It's the science laboratory. That's the holodeck. That's funny. Look how big that holodeck is. I never realized it was actually that big. Where is... It must be down here then. I must be tripping. There it is. Yeah, so I had it backwards. Okay, so it's down here in the lower decks with the main deflector in the warp core. I guess that would make sense because it needs a lot of energy. So to repair its E, we need tritanium. We have no tritanium though, or duranium. Wait a minute. Okay. So we can't do this yet then. Hold on, let's scan this one. So we're looking for duranium. That's deuterium. How much do I have? 20 to go that far. I've got plenty right now. You're still 20, so 3 cycles isn't that bad. Scan. Deuterium, really? Okay, hold on. Scan. Deuterium. Scan. Duranium, there it is. We have to go there. To that. Ah, I see. It's minus 20 per cycle. Okay, so that was actually a little more expensive than I thought. But it's our only source nearby. It'll give us 33. Safely search for anything valuable. Ooh, dang, that's not great. But we have just enough to repair it. I think it was 12. We now have all the duranium we need. Yep. Engineering is standing by to repair the transporter, Captain. Here we go. Repair. Repairing. Okay, what does this say? Repairing rooms. Damaged rooms are not operational. Select a room to bring up the room controls. If you have the resources and work team needed, you can initiate repairs. Repairing a room takes time. Slash cycles. Commence cycles by flying to other locations. Okay, so now we just want to gather stuff. Does it tell me how long the cycle is taking? Oh, it did it automatically. Okay. Transporters are back online, Captain. Mr. Paris, set course for the array. It's time to get some answers. Alright, so we're going to the array. Yeah, so you can see our main objectives are marked by that. Let's scan let's just, because I'm not going to go there, but let's do some scanning and find out where resources are before we go forward. This is where me and my obsession with being efficient in games like this kind of comes in. Last J. Because this will allow us to, whatever we need, we know where to get it. So we don't waste time going between places. Alright. We are heading back to the caretaker. I like how it says it already, even though we don't know what that is yet. Caretaker's array. Let's go. Also, the cutscenes will be a little bit better when they're on my PS5. They won't be so choppy like that. Could be the demo, but I have a feeling this also could be my PC in that case. Ensign Kim and Mr. Paris, get ready for the first away mission. Alright, here we go, away mission. This is going to be interesting. Probably because the $21.99 version is the more powerful version of the universe compared to the original. It's like comparing a GM to an orbital frame. Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that much stronger. Wow, that's a huge difference. That's a huge difference. That is, wow. That is a massive difference. That's like a tiny little Honda hatchback versus a bloody Challenger Hellcat. What is that gap? But the 21 is more fleshed out, in my opinion. Since it's newer, Yamato was a monster of a ship in that series, and they're more advanced technology like shields. Oh man, that's scary. Now you see why they're doing that version now. Let's see. Away missions, transporter room tutorial. Away missions present a series of challenges. Heroes possess skills and traits. Select heroes with the matching skills for your away team. Okay, that I see. So that kind of works like what do you call it? When we're doing in Punishing Grey Raven, when we're doing the missions for the dorm room, basically. Yep, cause oh yeah, right. Tom is he's tactical, so he's going first. Tom is a part medic. I forget he helps the doctor from time to time. Oh, quick-witted and pilot. Okay. Well, we need a pilot, and of course Harry Kim. And that fills everything in. So okay. I wonder if this changes like percentage chance of things happening, things like that. Also, I don't know what these do yet because I haven't found a way to look at my crew and find out what their perks are. But I can imagine I know what pilot means, but I wonder what quick-witted does. Maybe it means he's better at it. He's better at science and a little smarter at figuring something out. I'm not sure. But let's do it. Start mission. Alright, now we get to do the thing where it's kind of like those text-based adventures you play when you get choices. There's a lot of those that are actually pretty fun I've seen lately. Decide on approach. So this is a away mission tutorial. Decide on approach. Select the hero to complete the challenge with the appropriate skill. If the skill is lower than the requirement, the success chance is displayed. Okay. Alright. Captain, we seem to have materialized in the middle of a cornfield. This place is eerily similar to Earth, but something's off. Any suggestions on what to do next? So scan. So there's a science thing. Scan for any life signs and strange energy readings. Look for any footprints or special noises. What is his tactical rating? It needs a... Oh yeah, it's not high. Well, neither of them are high enough. Okay. Which is closer? That's 4 away. 30. That's 1, 31. They're both 4 away, I think, right? Okay. Harry's is slightly better. We should go with his. Oh. Beautiful. Harry and Tom use their tricorders to scan for life signs and detect strange energy spikes emitting from a nearby area. Following the readings, they navigate through the corn and find a farm with people working in the fields. An old man sits on the porch of the nearby farmhouse, strumming his banjo. Yeah, I know who that is. This is also what will lead us to a new crew member by the name of Kess. and Neelix by happenstance. After a challenge, the participating team members are fatigued, and their values are reduced. Let them rest for the next challenge to recover and plan ahead accordingly. So they get tired. Oh, so yeah. So Harry Kim can't talk has already been used, so now he's slightly tired, so his units are diminished, or his stats. Also, we can see how stressed they are, it looks like, too. So we're going to have to go with Tom on this one. We should do medical, because it's only one difference for Tom. Try to read his body language for any clues. Captain, this old man seems harmless enough. He might know what's going on here. How should we approach? Read his body language. Yep, that's a huge chance of success. Let's do that. Tom's slight medical training should help with this. Woo! It tried, though. You see that? It tried. Harry and Tom discreetly observe the old man, trying to analyze his body language. Something feels off, like he's putting on an act. But they can't quite put their finger on why. The old man seems perplexed by their presence, muttering about Harry and Tom being early, and how it is not yet their turn yet. He invites them to stay on the farm and wait, offering them some fresh corn cobs. Tutorial mission advanced. You can select more than one hero for a challenge if they possess the required skills. Oh. If the accumulated skill is equal or higher than the required number, you have a chance of a critical success. Golden part of the chance bar. Ooh. The old man isn't much help. We'll try to find the Maquis ourselves. There's a large barn behind the farmhouse. The tricorder readings are off the charts. There's definitely something strange about it, especially that black wall. So we would want this because that's 35, so that's 5 over the required amount, so we want both of them for this one. Look at that. It's teaching me how to make choices, I see. So this will also get us deuterium, which is nice, if it succeeds. If we get us, I imagine that's the critical success, or maybe the amount we get in general, I'm not sure. Guess we'll find out in a minute. Maybe it just gives us more. Tom is tired, though, in this situation, so this is kind of a risk, but I want to do it. Just to see what it does. See, sadly, we didn't get it, so one could argue, was that really worth it? Harry and Tom try to dispute the energy reading field. Or disrupt, not dispute, disrupt, causing a flicker in the air. But before they can break the illusion, the people from the field burst in, wielding farm tools as weapons. The old man appears and reveals the barn as an illusion, the back wall dissolving to show the bluish glowing room where the unconscious people, including a tattooed man and a half-Klingon woman, lie on the surgical table. Consequences. Sometimes you have to make major decisions that have a large influence on how the story proceeds. Here we go. So this is where technically we can actually really change history. This is where the stuff can really hit the fan and go wrong. Especially since I don't remember some things, details. Like, I don't remember who they woke up first. Chakotay or B'Elanna. And depending on the choice could be a problem. I know B'Elanna's hot-headed with Starfleet. I feel like Chakotay would be the better choice if we were playing this like the show, I think. I can't remember, though. Sometimes you have to make major decisions. Let's see. These people must be the missing Maquis. There's Chakotay. There's B'Elanna. These people must be the missing Maquis. They are being held here, Captain. We must get them out of here. They're both tired. So, yeah, see, we have a higher success chance in general to wake up Chakotay in anyways. Because even with Tom being tired, he has a more likely success chance here. He actually even has a chance for critical success. Where Harry... Oh, actually, no. Wait, no, B'Elanna is easier. I read it wrong. Ooh, then maybe B'Elanna? It's also based on reward, too. We have to decide what to happen. You know what? I'm going to let y'all... I'm going to see what chat does. I'm going to let y'all decide. You should have seen what the Yamato did to the Garmillion fleet. That was straight up bullying, ambushing all those ships while they were refueling. Yamato was straight up spawn camping. trying to leave the base. That is... I mean, it's terrible. It's kind of a smart idea. But... I'm going to let y'all decide this, but... So we would also have to decide... So the benefit of waking up Chakotay instead would mean we get free duranium to build more rooms and repair more rooms. Waking up Balana means we get more fuel. So it's a give and take, too. Also, it changes the actual story. I like this game. This game's awesome. I'm letting y'all decide. I want to see what happens. Because I'm kind of, since this is the demo, I'm not really concerned on too hardcore choices right now. I just want to kind of see what the game does for the demo. So, what time is it? I gotta keep an eye on time. We still got about a little less than an hour. So what do you think, Farseer? Sadly, I don't think a lot of people made it tonight. I think it's just us tonight. So, I guess it's just up to you, Farseer. What do you think? Balana, which is the half Klingon lady, or Chakotay. So, either her or him. You have enough blood wine. You have enough blood wine. So you're saying Balana, I assume, with that response. Yeah. Alright, blood wine is fine. We're waking up Balana then. This is whatever happens for us here. She kills us. It's her fault. No, I was kidding. There's no bad success here. It's actually a chance for critical. A critical success, so. Let's see what happens. That gives us free fuel. Wake up the half Klingon woman. Wow, critical success. Harry sprints towards the half Klingon woman, hoping to rouse her. As he reaches out, the old man stops him. A look of concern on his face before Harry can react. A blinding white light fills the room and everything goes blank. Oh, they also level up. Ooh, that's cool. 3 successful challenges, 1 critical success, no injuries, Sector 1 done. Or how many sectors, so each sector you do gets you a certain amount of points. So if it was more than 1 sector, we'd get way more points towards the end. Total plus 3, 25. And we got 5 science. I assume is that what? Will it tell me what that is if I highlight this? No. So 5 science, 450 deuterium. So we have a lot of fuel. We stacked on the fuel. Oh, Tom Paris on a sudden return. Oh, Tom Paris is unavailable right now. Captain Janeway anxiously awaits the return of her away team when Harry Kim unexpectedly materializes behind her. What happened to the array? Whoa, I'm back on Voyager. What happened over there, Mr. Kim? We lost contact with you for several hours. Hours? But we were just right there, Tom! Seems like he's still on the array. I hope you have a hidden piloting talent, because we're short. Captain, oh! So, okay. So that's the consequence rearing its head. Because we don't have our pilot, we're going to be down on the combat section right now. Because Harry's not at the helm. So our maneuverability is going to be way worse. Ooh! Captain, we're being hailed by the Maquis. Starfleet, I don't know what you did to our commander, but I can still ram this wreck into your precious ship, and there's Balana. Ram us. We're one of our own is also missing. It would make sense to postpone the ramming until we have accounted for. Does that sound reasonable? We're beaming over. Yep. But there's Chakotay. Right, so, okay, I remember. Now seeing the scene actually play out, this is... Farseer chose an alternative. This is an alternate timeline choice. Because normally Chakotay is standing here and Tuvok is right here as normal, and then of course Seska is probably who that is. That's what I'm assuming. Despite Janeway's invitation, the arrival of Maki is fraught with tension. Both sides remain wary as they prepare to discuss their shared predicament. There she is. She's standing in her monkey outfit right now. Don't play games, Starfleet. We're armed and ready to defend ourselves. I wouldn't have it any other way. Glad to have you back, Tuvok. Likewise, Captain. Tuvok recruited! Miss Torres, I must inform you that I was assigned to infiltrate the Maquis. I never liked you, Vulcan. That is unsurprising. I assure you I perform my Maquis duties to the highest standards. Attack! I love B'Elanna. Paris has good taste. You win some, you lose some. Let's focus on bringing Mr. Paris and your commander back. His name is Chakotay. And we, B'Elanna recruited. His name is Chakotay, and we can't get back that in that, and we can't get back in that easy. They're sealed, and the communications are cut off. Lieutenant Tuvok, get down to engineering and find a way to bypass whatever's jamming our communications. Report back as soon as you have a solution. Captain, the ship's status remains critical. Repair protocols are imperative. We require resources in the engineering office to mobilize additional workforces. Prioritize life support, secure core decks, and restore Deck 5 functionality. First gain access to engineering office. To be able to supply power to a room, you need to activate the life support unit there of the corresponding deck. Each life support unit consumes energy, so plan accordingly. So this is... That's science laboratory though. Don't we need to prioritize engineering offices? It wants me to click that one, but okay. Here's sick bay. Whoa, I zoomed out way too much. Yeah, it'd be over here. I wonder why. Oh, wait, is that on the same level? I am zooming in too much. It's got a huge difference. Okay, yeah, so that's the same deck. Wanted to make sure it lined up. Takes 18 power. Okay, turn it on. Life support restored on Deck 5. Captain Engineering Office is now accessible. And of course, it's a mess. We'll have to fix it before we can even use it. We need to collect more uranium. Alright, so this is where I bet having Paris is going to be a problem. I wonder if what the issue is going to be now is going to be Harry not being good at... Like, hold on, let me check something. So that's still one cycle away, so it doesn't seem that that's changed too much. As far as distancing, he doesn't seem to be using more fuel. I don't know, maybe he's slower in a certain way. But we're going here because that's uranium. Set course. This is why I scanned ahead of time. Ooh, we have the tractor beam up and running. Use the tractor beam. Ooh, but we can have a yellow with that pretty hard, but... Use the, it's not a red. Use the tractor beam to clump up debris. Do that. Yes, beautiful. 60, beautiful. Alright, back into the ship. We're gonna want engineering office. Well, you can dismantle and move things too, but we're gonna want to repair it. Repairs in progress. Until completion, it would be logical to scan all planets in the system and gather more deuterium and uranium. Alright, I've done that. Explore the system and gather more resources until engineering office is finished. I want to see how many cycles it is, though. 2 cycles. Okay, cool. So anything 2 cycles away. That's 3 cycles away. That'll be done automatically. We should get some... We've got plenty of fuel, though. I kind of want more uranium, so let's go get some uranium. Engineering will be done technically as we get there. But engineering office provides up to +1 work team. Work teams are required to perform repairs and construction and hull repair on board of Voyager. Total cost after activation is $36.16. Where's my crew at? What crew number? Okay, yeah. Woo, wait. You see, we're starting to get a little close to what her problem was after the crash. She lost a lot of crew members. during when the caretaker brought the ship here. So we're always going to be having problems here in the beginning. Okay. Engineering office fully operational again. Captain, we now have an additional work team to carry out two tasks simultaneously. Nice. Building or repairing rooms, even clearing rubble, occupies work teams. To be able to carry out several tasks at a time, obtain additional teams by building or upgrading engineering offices. Logically, we should now focus on Deck 2 and the mess hall to ensure the crew's food supply is maintained, in maintaining their physical endurance. This requires reactivation of life support in this section. The morale bar shows your current morale. Okay, that's the purple bar, roger. The changes to morale per cycle and icons indicating the crew's needs. Yeah, okay. So morale will go down if they're hungry or don't have their quarters up and running. Open the overview screen by pressing tab and switch to morale. To get detailed info about your crew's needs. Your decisions in ship management, food, crew quarters, and events affect crew morale as well. If morale falls to 0, the crew will mutiny and the game is over. So that's the actual game over state. Other than being destroyed, there's not really a game over state fully because of how many you can completely alter history. But if the crew mutinies against you, then obviously, you're not captain anymore. Better than the other spoon. Wow. Wow, that's really... Chakotay's a good guy. He also fell in love with an android lady. Because him and 7 of 9 end up falling for each other towards the end of the series. But, once again, I'm more of a Paris kind of guy. So, I like 7 as well, but, not over B'Elanna. Let's see. Already said that. It's game over. Good. Okay. So we need to life support on. Yeah, that energy getting pretty substantial. Life support restored on Deck 2, Captain. Access to the mess hall is now possible. However, it has sustained extensive damage. Emergency rations are currently deployed. After repair, the crew can access replicator rations once more. How much do you need? You need 6. This is why I went for that bigger choice to try to get more duranium. Good. 3 cycles. Repairs in progress. Until completion, we should address crew accommodations. Ruined rooms must be cleared to create room for residential sections. The ship is heavily damaged and many parts are destroyed beyond repair. To free up new building space, you will first have to remove the remnants of the old. Select the room and give the order to clear the debris. Removing debris takes cycles or time to pass or travel on the map. Oh, my alarm's going off. Turn that off. Okay. Clear debris. It also gives us duranium clearing debris. That's actually pretty nice. That's how a lot of these games kind of work when you're clearing out rooms. While waiting for our work teams to finish, we should continue to collect more resources. Okay. Well, that's actually what we're doing. So, that's yeah, repair parts of the mining station to mine some resources. That's a little too risky. I'm gonna go with the safe option. We've got plenty already. We've already still got 40. We're gonna safely search for anything valuable. Alright, another 46. Alright, let's go right next door. Okay, that's a yellow alternative. I'll try it, just like before. Nice. Oh, lost due to full storage. Oh, wait, what? Oh, we can only have 100. Oh, I did not know that. Well, we'll know that for the future. So we've got plenty, so we don't need that now. So now we should start heading back to the caretaker. Let's head over here and get deuterium fuel. Mess hall, life support active. Provides the crew with a place where they can gather for meals and relax away from duty. Enter ship. Doesn't say how much it's going to take, but we're about to find out. Mess hall repairs are complete, Captain. We should switch to replicator rations now. It would enhance the crew's well-being. You know what's funny? I wonder. Oh, hold on. There's a funny thing in this show that's always been kind of a back joke. Neelix is decent at cooking. He gets better over time, but he's not great because he doesn't understand human food that well because he's a Thalaxian. Technically, they always made jokes secretly that they always wanted to get the replicators up and running and have more to be able to use rations because the replicator makes more human-like food than Neelix does. So I wonder if he's gonna be a medium option. So you see these two options, right? You have emergency rations, which is negative 50 morale. Then you have premium replicator rations plus 10. I wonder if Neelix is gonna be in the middle and be kind of either a neutral, which is 0, or it'll be just a less negative than that. Or maybe in this they'll give him the bonus one and say he's more. Even though I don't know if the crew would agree with that. With every cycle, your crew consumes rations. You can always use emergency rations, which don't require resources, but it lowers morale. The crew is used to consuming premium rations made by the replicator. Those increase morale but consume deuterium. And I wonder if that's the thing too. That's why I'm thinking I bet you Neelix is going to be somewhere in the middle. Because he won't use deuterium to cook it either. He'll be back here in the kitchen. We'll probably see him standing here just cooking away a storm, walking back and forth. So, that'll be interesting. This game is great. So we want to switch to premium for now. Replicator rations are now issued to the crew, Captain. Okay. Keep exploring the system while repairs are in progress. Wait until the ruined room is clear. It's down there. How many cycles has it got left? 1. Alright. It'll be finished before we go back. Alright, ruined room is back up. Let's open it back up. Ruined room removal concluded, Captain. Maybe we should rebuild some crew quarters now. It would do wonders for morale, Captain. To build new rooms... Oh, wow. Okay, to build new rooms, select the empty building space and bring up the construction menu. If you have enough work teams and resources, you can build the room. Every room needs corresponding area to... Okay. So they have to be a certain size. Like 2x2, 4x4, that kind of thing. Just as an example. So, I guess crew quarters can be up to just a single room. But you can probably make a massive one, too. Yeah, see a small one. So does it show me size? Yeah, see it's a 2x2. Uh-huh. Okay, you do that. Okay. Your crew is the lifeblood of your ship. Each room requires personnel to operate. So keep this in mind when adding new rooms or upgrades. Don't forget to provide necessary accommodations or morale may drop faster than you'd like. 4 cycles to build that. Oh, here we go. We got a hail coming in. Answer an incoming call from Tuvok. Captain, the array's jamming signal has been neutralized. We should be able to establish communications. Let's hope they respond. Hail the array. Who's this? Why are you bothering me? Oh, it's you. Why are you back? You don't have what I need. I remember that voice, Captain. That's the old man with the banjo. But his form is entirely different compared to how he appeared on the array. I'm Captain Janeway of the Federation starship Voyager. We mean you no harm. We just want our people back. Your people? Your people are no longer here. They might have what... they are no longer here. They might have what I need. You'll just have to leave them. Appeal to... So we've got a 30... this is high chance. Let's see. Let Torres talk, a 60% chance there. Optional. Scan the array. Hold on, do that. I won't rely on the words of a stranger. Scan the array of the life signs of Tom and Chakotay. No sign of them, Captain, and no humanoid life forms indicated at all. Who or what are they talking to right now? Who or what are we talking to right now? So, try to intimidate him. We have a better chance here. Appeal to his humanity. Tell us where they are. We are entrusted with their safety. Their families and friends rely on us to bring them home. They are a responsibility. Perhaps that is it. Perhaps that is the case. But I have no time. There just isn't enough time. Time for what? No, you're stealing my time. Don't you understand? I don't have time. Not enough time. We've been cut off, Captain. You're used to talking it out back home. But out here, next time, let me do the talking. Your methods might have worked against the Cardassians. I almost said Kardashians. Cardassians. But this is a different kind of adversary. Captain, Commander, I fail to see how this spirited debate will help us locate our missing crew members. Perhaps a more logical approach would be beneficial. Huh. You're right, Tuvok. It seems that the Delta Quadrant is getting to our heads. What do you suggest? I have observed that the array has been sending energy pulses towards the fifth planet of the neighboring system ever since our arrival. Given the lack of information regarding our missing crew's location, investigating the planet appears to be the most logical next step. It's the only lead we have. Thoughts, Miss Torres? We're stuck with each other, Janeway. We work together and go our separate ways. Fine. Helm, set course for the fifth planet of the neighboring system. Let's find our people. Set course for the fifth planet in the neighboring system. Maximum warp. The sector map shows the entire. The sector map shows the entire sector with several star systems. You can either travel directly to another system, or you can scan the system first and select a specific pole to visit. Alright, let's stock up on fuel before we go, though. We don't need that much. Let's just get this one. Deploy collector probes for safer collection. Yeah, because we are already almost at full. I just want to top off before we leave. Okay. Because we're using way more fuel now. So sector map, we're wanting to go system 3681. Oh, I scan it. I don't want to set course, I want to scan it. It said I was allowed to scan. Optional, clear more ruined rooms and build emergency quarters for the entire crew. Oh, maybe I should do that then. Before we go off anywhere. Let's go to the ship. So clear more ruined rooms, okay. And then build emergency. Alright, so let's go back over here. Let's put it down here on this, yeah, let's clear maybe this out for emergency rooms. Clear. Oh, I gotta do. Oh, but then I have to enable life support though. We want emergency to be kind of close. What's right here? Battery compartment. I don't want it to be right there. What is up here? That's the shield generator. Sick bay. Let's do it right here, because it would be right above sick bay by one deck. This seems pretty good. Because if we're going to turn on life support, I want it to be somewhere that's actually going to help us. That's going to give us some sort of other debris, too. Thing is, I have to be careful on energy. Oh yeah, because that's the holodeck as well. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's a lot. We don't have that much. Uh-oh. So we have to clear rooms to do that. Ew. But we can't clear rooms on places we don't have life support, so it's going to have to be right here. Might as well do it there. Now give us more duranium. That's gonna take 6 cycles, okay. It's quite expensive, actually. Is there any duranium left on this world? It's not. Alright, so let's head to the next sector, because we don't have nothing else we can get here. It won't, since it won't let me scan it for some reason. Oh wait, if I right click it, it scans it. Okay. Oh, you can't do that there, though. Oh, I can't scan it unless I'm there. I have to upgrade it to scan in other systems. Okay, then we just need to come here, then. That's where we gotta go, anyways. Enter warp drive. There we go. Emergency quarters. Life support active. Accommodates 10 crew. Crammed. Oh, this is not a good type of quarters. This isn't a singles quarters. This is like a bunch of like double quarters, like bunk beds and stuff. Limited quality quarters. -1 morale per cycle, but it gives them housing, so it's less terrible than what we already have. So let's activate that. Let's zoom in so we can see. Yeah, I do like that you can zoom in really close to see what it looks like. Yeah, so it's like bunk beds. Yeah, because you can't clear this out, right? Yeah, because they can't send that. Right, it makes sense because you can't send the crew there. They won't be able to breathe. Although I know there's spacesuits in this game, so, or in this universe, so it's kind of strange. That's another workshop. Oh, the shuttle bay is badly damaged too, so we can't send shuttles out either. I think that's another way to conserve on Deuterium, is sending shuttles out to planets that are nearby with the away team. And I think you can also have them be almost like a second ship, or if you wanted to separate them like they did temporarily sometimes. Yeah, see, we've got the Aero Shuttle Bay, which this we technically haven't fully unlocked yet. It's funny that we start with it, but phaser control array. Ooh. I don't want to mess with anything that's not really, you know. Alright, we are here. So, let's do still. That's the planet we gotta go where we'll meet Ocampa, the Ocampa homeworld. Let's do some scanning. So, right-clicking is scan. Okay. I have a feeling we might not get to see combat tonight. I may have to save it. What time is it? 7:15. Yeah, I'm about to run out of time. So we might have to do this, and we might have to put off this until tomorrow. And after I do my co-op with James, whatever we end up deciding to do, whether it be Motor Town or whatever, we'll have to. That's probably. Oh no, it's not. We'll have to. Wait, why can't this work? I can't scan that. Interesting. Must be story related. Okay, there's a lot more duranium here than we had before. So we're clearing the ruined room and emergency. We want to complete that before we go to this world, so we have more crew quarters. I don't want to go that far though, is the issue. So how many cycles are left? Oh, well, we have to. I say that, but we have to, let's go the farthest one away first. Construction report. Ruined room completed. Okay, so now let's do that. That gives us more room, and then we're going to want the emergency one. So crew. Oh, another emergency quarters. Okay, yeah. Boom, right there. 4 cycles. We'll put the fancier quarters in a different part of the ship so people that way can have better rooms if they need them. For now, we just need the rooms in general. So that's building. System. Yeah, we don't have torpedo bays, so we're just going to take that. Nice, we're back up to full again. So now let's head back over here. Let's set course for this. To gather some fuel and top us off. Accommodates 10 crew, yep. Enter ship. Start it up. Okay. Still got 30 people without housing. Oh, for the entire crew. Ooh, okay, so we actually have to do quite a lot. Is there a single type room I can put here? Or does it always have to be a double? I would imagine it always has to be a double. Yeah. Uh-oh, how do I go back? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What? Why would you not make that right click? Uh-oh. Is there anywhere else I can throw this? That just conveniently has some squares open? Not that I can see. Okay, well I'm in trouble. I don't know how to get out of this build mode. That's not good. So, well, you can rotate it. There we go. I had to use my access control to use circle to get out. So yeah, we need to clear out another room, but there ain't any more on this floor. So this means we need to restore this floor. We need 45 of that. We don't have that. We scanned everything, right? We're gonna get some fuel and then we gotta figure this out. So, use tractor beam. Ah, okay, that wasn't great, but that's alright. So... It is problematic. I have no source of asteroid stuff. Well, since this is the demo, I want to try something real quick. Oh no, blocked. We need to deal with the array first. Okay. Maybe we'll get it from some other stuff. Although, wait. I could build it on ones we already have life support on, right? It's gonna look a bit nasty, but... Do you have life support? No, you don't. The big ones are the ones that give me the rocks. But at this point, yeah, putting it next to the shield generator though? We can fit 2 here next to the batteries for emergency. But we have to still repair this. Are all of them the same price? Or are they each different? They're each different. So each one is damaged at a different level. Hold on, can we find a cheaper one? Wow, it's not the candidate. Oh, none of those are. There's some down there. Let's go check these prices. That's more reasonable. That's 20. 20. 20. Down here. We're going to put it down here. We can fit... This would be the best choice here because this is 2 different rooms right here. So we need 20 from that. So hopefully we'll get enough. So we need 20. So let's go clear rooms off of places that we do have the life support already on. So that would be only these 2 decks up here, I think. Yep. So we need to clear these, but I don't think that's... Yeah, that's not going to give us what we need. We can clear this one with that. No, it's not big enough. It has to be a 3 stack. What about these? We actually have a little bit of inconvenience going on here. So how would you get the rocks you need for that? Maybe it's going to come in a choice during the story. Alright. For now then let's just actually head to the objective because I'm not sure what else to do then. Just because there's no source of that material here at all. The previous sector didn't have any. So let's just go to Kessa's world before we end it. Let's see what the story is going to be like there. I can't talk to them. Hey, quarter problem. Captain, I need to address the lack of quarters. Many are sleeping in the corridors and morale is suffering. I'd suggest building new quarters so more people can sleep in their own beds. So that's what we're trying to do. You'll have 40 cycles to accomplish this task. Ooh. Wish I had done that before doing that, because then we could have gotten that already completed. We might be in trouble. Sadly, not now. I have to ignore it. Yeah, we're going to lose morale. I have to ignore it for now. Because we're not going to have the cycles to do that, or the spacing. We have nowhere else we can build another room. They're all taken up. So, if I had went here first and then built this room, we would have been fine. But okay. Captain, we reached our destination. Orders? Continue. It's also the demo. I might have been able to go to that other system if it wasn't a demo as well. That might be as far part of it too. Let's see what we have here. A new lead. Following the caretakers of energy pulses, Voyager discovers a desert planet with harsh, unforgiving landscape. Are Tom Paris and Captain Chakotay perhaps being held in this place? What makes this place so special? Prepare an away team. Optional. We have a 100% chance here. This, so let's do that. Anything noteworthy about the energy pulses? They are consistently targeting a single location, a barren piece of the desert. I recommend an away team investigation of the area. There is something else. The interval between each pulse has decreased by 0.47 seconds since we've left the array. They're getting faster. The entity said he's running out of time, right? Whatever that means. We'd better hurry. Do an optional scan. Let's see what we can learn about this planet. It's all the basic characteristics of an N-class planet. But no ocean, no river, nothing. However, there are settlements. Leave it at that. Strange but intriguing. Prepare the away team. We'll examine the world firsthand. Talking about the Deep Space Nine. Oh, you're talking about Deep Space Nine? Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. Captain, a small ship is approaching. This might be Neelix. On screen. Yep. First contact. A peculiar alien with a mischievous grin greets Voyager from his chaotic vessel. Neither Starfleet nor the Maquis have ever seen such a species before. Perhaps an inhabitant of the Delta Quadrant. Greetings. Looking for something on this dusty old rock? Would we find anything, mister? Neelix. Never seen a ship like yours. Let me guess, you were whisked away from somewhere else in the galaxy and brought here against your will? Sounds as though you've heard this story before. Thousands of times. Well, hundreds of times. Maybe 50. But the caretaker has been bringing ships here for months now. The caretaker? That's what the Ocampa call him. He probably snatched some of your crew too, right? They're likely down on the planet with the Ocampa. But Captain, it's a tricky place. Dangerous. You can use a guide, but of course, a guide needs a little, compensation? Sounds fair. Wonderful. To be honest, I've had it rough recently. Those pesky void voles have been nibbling away at my supplies. So some food and water would be most welcome. If you help us find our missing crew, you can have all the food and water you want. It's a deal. Neelix recruited. Alright. Rebuild Voyager and explore the system, or skip cycles until Neelix is ready to talk. Ah, okay. So we can't really rebuild anything. Let me see if we can rebuild any systems. It says I can rebuild parts of Voyager now, so I'm assuming I've been given free reign. So, chat, next choice before we get ready to start wrapping this up. Do we rebuild the phaser banks or the science lab? Or wait, isn't it sick bay? More sick bay. We'll get the doctor. Can we even repair this? We can, actually, pretty easily. Actually probably repair a couple of things, to be fair. So I'm going to repair sick bay no matter what. So I'm actually going to start that now. But alright, so let me compare it to something that we don't need. Actually, we could just compare it to two different weapons. You require 20. We could get another workshop. We don't have any rocks yet. We can't do that. It's not even an option. So science or weapons, I guess. What's this up here? Or the shields. Actually, I might do that in general. I'm going to do that in general. That's, no. We're getting that back up and running. That's happening anyways, kind of thing. If we have to switch it off, we can, but it's definitely getting repaired at least. Alright, so science or weapons? This is our first major choice of how this ship is going to behave towards the future, at least in the demo for now. We'll make these major choices for the full one as well. So do we research things or blow things up? And if you decide to blow things up, lasers or torpedoes? Are you confident I'll choose anything but weapons? Maybe that's why I'm asking. But if that's the case, then torpedoes or lasers? We'll get both eventually, but which one first? Big damage. I assume you mean torpedoes. Because Voyager is more... I will say this. Voyager is more known for its torpedoes. And if we have the torpedo launcher, we can salvage ships better. Because we can blow them up. So I assume we are torpedoing our way through... Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, right, I don't have another work team. So we'll have to let the other twos finish while we're searching around for supplies. Let's go for some more fuel and stuff. We'll come back to the Ocampa world towards the end of this. I'm gonna make a circle. 5 cycles? That's expensive. Sure, you're not much better though, so I think we'll be good. Let's head this way. While we wait for the ship to repair. Shield generator online. Activate the shield generator. Toggle power Z, it's 5. Alright, shield generator. Shield should hopefully be up and running then. I don't think I've ever actually seen this room. This room you don't get to see in the show. It's never really a reason for them to ever come in here. If it was ever here, it was only shown once. Because most of the time, when you see engineering at all, or anything engineering related, it's usually this room. This is the room that's usually always showed off in the show. You don't really see any of the other engineering type things that are specific. I think the only other thing you usually see is the torpedo bay kind of things in the show, and phaser control. Now, I don't know if it showed it that much in Voyager, but you saw it a lot in Star Trek Enterprise. Especially this one. Alright, repair it. Because we're about to get some more supplies anyways. We do definitely need to stock up hard on the way back through. But the way I'm kind of playing this is we're going to get things in the most efficient circle we can try to afford. So 3 cycles as well for that. Sick bay is about to be back online. Back to the system. Sick bay, life support active. The ship's primary medical facility heals injured or sick crew and heroes over time. Capacity to heal up to 5 crew simultaneously. Enter ship. Oh, we have a call. Caretaker. Oh, because it's Neelix. What a delicious meal. A culinary masterpiece. I've never encountered such a tangy but comforting, smooth, yet vibrant concoction. What was it called again? Tomato soup. You see how he's very, very detached on understanding? And that's, you know what's funny? It's because Talaxians don't really, I don't mean this in an insulting way. They don't have palates. And what I mean by this is, it's kind of like a Ramsey kind of reference. They don't know what spices are. Their spices are way more, like, extreme to the level of it would blow your head off. So they don't know that less is more, right? Like, less spice means better flavor, not just turn it to the roof every time. Which is what basically Neelix cooks like. So it's no surprising he thinks tomato soup is a masterpiece. Although, I love me some tomato soup as well, to be fair. Especially tomato basil soup. With some, like, mozzarella in it, or some shredded Parmesan, or some feta. I have 3 different kinds of cheese I do for that. But it's good. Tomato soup! I'm something of a culinary wizard myself. You know, my Alfarian hair pasta bowl is widely known for its bold, mouth-watering taste. Yeah, see, he has no idea that maybe to you. Mr. Neelix, I am pleased you are enjoying yourself, but we need your assistance now. Ah, yes, your missing crew, right. Scan the southern continent and look for a range of dead volcanoes. At their foot, you'll find a Kazon Olga encampment. Kazon what? 1 Kazon sect of many. They control this part of the quadrant. They're a bit difficult, but with the right approach, even they can be reasoned with. I thought you said the Okampa had our people. Well, the Okampa do have your people. It's just finding them is a bit tricky. My old pal, Meja Jabin, I can't remember how he said his name. The Ogla leader, might know more where to look. He's a nice guy, a bit gruff, but he owes me a favor. Ask more information about Kazon Ogla. Anything else we need to know about this Kazon Ogla? Water's a precious commodity around these parts. The Ogla, they mostly get theirs through trade, so a little liquid diplomacy would go a long way. Alright, so water. Send an away team. Very well. Prepare an away team and you'll accompany them, Mr. Neelix. Alright, we're not going to do that yet. Fly back to Okampa. We're not going to do that yet, though. We'll probably have to do that tomorrow. Alright, sick bay. Injured and sick crew will be placed in the sick bay automatically. After treatment, they'll go back to work, increasing the efficiency of the sick bay by assigning suitable heroes. Yeah, like the doctor or Kess eventually, who also is good at medical as well. We're at 60 out of 100 power, so we've got to be careful because we're going to have to cycle up soon. Actually, let me check my warp core. Is it automatically cycled up because I've been doing stuff? It has not. So it's going to take more deuterium per cycle, which it has gone up because some rooms are taking deuterium. So, yeah. It would go up by 5 energy. Or 50 energy. But that'd be 60 deuterium out. So we got to try to stay out of this tier if we can help it. So I'd lose 20 energy per cycle here if we go into gray mode for a little bit. But we'd lose no deuterium. I'm going to do that. Oh, it won't let me in the demo. Okay. Isn't it Balana, right? Balana's our engineer. Yeah, 38% room efficiency. There we go. I didn't know we could already assign crew. I probably shouldn't have done that early, but hey. It'll make the room more efficient. Okay. That's cool you see their pictures so you can see who's where easy. Or easier. Okay, so torpedoes is repairing. We do not have our tactical person yet. I'm trying to remember. Well, actually, doesn't Tuvok move the tactical once Balana takes over engineering? I think so. I know Chakotay is the first officer, so... Okay. Alright, torpedo launch bay active. Torpedo damage plus 0% because we don't have it upgraded yet. Yeah, that was 6 energy, but hey, it's up and running. Look at that. Nice. Alright, torpedoes are online. My brain is messing up there. And you can move them around just in case you need them in different places too. Okay. So... what is next? We can repair this is the workshop. This will give us another crew. Changes energy consumption. Okay, so it's going to be a 3. It's going to take 3 energy to power this up. Alright, let's do that. In order to get some more crews to repair stuff. I assume the doctor isn't up and running yet. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, so we must have to... he must be story related. Okay. Also, can we... oh yeah, it's just management. I am going to switch it off for now. We don't need shields right now. Shields offline. That'll give us some energy to play around with. Alright. Back to the system. We're going to want to harvest. Yeah, see now. There's a chance this could go bad. Let's see. Woo! Got it. 58. Beautiful. So we're back up to max. That one little trip got us back to max. Beautiful. So since we're at max, we're just going to fly back to the Ocampa world 5 cycles away. It's going to be expensive, but we're going to be harvesting all 4 of these towards the end and flying one big circle out of here. So, back to the Ocampa. Life support active workshop. Reduces crafting times by 25%. Beautiful. Oh, Captain, we've got a major problem brewing down in engineering. Deuterium levels are critical. This ship won't last long without a refuel. If we don't locate a new supply soon, we'll be adrift in space with no energy, no life support. We need to act fast. We'll stock up 500. Yeah, we'll do that. We have 25 cycles to do that, which is fine. Yeah, it did get a little low. I figured that would happen. We'll have just enough to get to the next energy source. They were always looking for deuterium, so that's probably going to be a big thing in this game until we upgrade the warp core to be more efficient. Captain, we reached our destination. Orders? Send away team. This will be the last thing we do tonight. Neelix is going, okay. Tuvok fills in everything else, so let's send in Tuvok. Tuvok is going with it. Because there is no combat on Harry, so that's why Tuvok's tactical. Start mission. Oh, wait, I haven't. Oh, I can do one more. Oh, let's do Harry then. Actually, well, no, because I want to make sure B'Elanna's with us because we're going for Chakotay, right? If Chakotay's down here, we'll have B'Elanna to be able to help talk to him as well. And he's always about trying to find the peaceful way to do it. Oh, but we need survivalist. Oh, we don't have that. That would be Chakotay. Chakotay would have had that. So we don't technically have one of the traits because we never got Chakotay. So it does show you that if you follow canon, some things you'll have an advantage in or get better things in. Okay. But you also will get other advantages other places, I imagine, later in the game when the choices become more broad, as I would say. So, alright, there we go. The away team materializes. Yeah, and see, you can tell Tom was supposed to be here too, technically. The away team materializes in a small valley between the dead volcanoes. The sun burns down on them mercilessly. The air is hot and dry, and a sandy wind whips into their eyes. Captain, our tricorders are malfunctioning, probably because of the energy impulses. How do we get our bearings in this dust bowl? No one has this option because we don't. Yeah, so if Chakotay was here, we could have got fuel. That's interesting. Alright, so we'll let Tuvok handle this. He has a chance of slightly having a negative. Struggle through the vantage point. Okay, we're good. Success. The away team pushes forward, battling the strong winds and low visibility. Finally, they emerge onto a ledge with a clearer view of the surrounding area. In the distance, they spot the Kazon Ogla settlement. However, the wind is picking up, and a massive sandstorm is approaching from the south. Captain, a sandstorm is heading our way. We need to find cover fast. So, oh, wow. So B'Elanna's perfect for that. She's also perfect for this. She actually can get... Ooh, so... Oh, all of them are good, but we could get science. We're full on duranium. We don't need either of these. So let's do the science answer. Let's do... Although we don't have... Ooh, that's a high risk, though. Ah, so that's also the issue there. Let's take a chance. Beautiful. Success. The away team quickly analyzed the terrain, discovering a natural crevice offering the best protection from the storm. The rock walls shield them from the worst of the wind and sand. After what seems like an eternity, the storm subsides. The away team emerges unharmed and sets off in the direction of the Kazon Ogla settlement. Away mission risks. Sometimes certain approaches in an away mission bear additional risks. Dangerous approaches are marked by the danger level with these little red markers. Failing such a challenge can result in injuries or even fatalities. I wonder if any of the main crew can die. I know you'll get, like, extra crew later, but I wonder if legit, like, even, like, Tuvok or someone, like, can literally die. I know in alternate histories and timelines some of them did die. So I wonder if that's a thing we can do in this because of the way this game works. Like, B'Elanna can technically die. Captain, we've reached the settlement. How should we approach the people here? This is where Neelix probably is, yeah, the good one. He even gets 200 plus morale as well. Talaxian is what we need. And technically, if we had 50, we could succeed at weapons ready with Tuvok if we didn't have Neelix. He's only 5 off. What is the success of this? It's very likely that would work, but I'd rather go with the chance for critical success. So we're gonna go with Neelix. Let Neelix do the introductions. Wasn't a critical, but that's fine. Neelix bounds forward, getting the Kazon Ogla in his usual boisterous manner. The woman and children seem to recognize him, but their expressions are skeptical rather than welcoming. The men approach cautiously, weapons in hand. A tall Kazon emerges from the settlement. Jabin, their leader. At the sight of Neelix, his face darkens. In the background, a badly bruised young woman who looks nothing like the Kazon, but more like a human with pointy ears, peers around the corner. Seems like the Kazon don't find Neelix as charming as he led us to believe. How should we appease them, Captain? So, assure them they have no bad intentions. That's Neelix, but that's really low. Or we can help them with Balana, which it'll give us resources that aren't going to happen, but this is at least a guaranteed success. Offer water, yeah. Nice. The away team offers Jabin water from their replicators. Fascinated by this technology, Jabin accepts the offer and becomes more receptive. He explains that the Okampa live underground, their access controlled by the caretaker, who also provides their only source of water. As proof, Jabin points to the bruised Okampa woman he is holding as a slave. Is that Kess? Explaining that she is one of the few who have managed to reach the surface. When suddenly Neelix grabs a phaser, he points it at Jabin and demands for the Okampa girl to be freed. Things are getting out of hand, Captain. What should we do? Appease and carefully withdraw. Tactical retreat, run. Secure the retreat with phaser fire. Let's do that. Appease and withdraw. I was hoping for critical success. Kess recruited. That was Kess. The away team raises their hands in a gesture of peace, slowly backing away while choosing their words carefully to calm the angry Kazon. Jabin, though furious at Neelix's impulsive action, recognizes the away team's intelligent attempt to de-escalate the situation. He allows them to retreat, though his eyes burn with anger. So he just rescued Kess. I think it's because, if I remember correctly, Neelix kind of knows a lot about the Okampa, so he kind of knows the caretaker's taking care of them, and that's a huge issue that the Kazon have her. So, successful challenges 5, no critical successes this time, no injuries though, 1 sector, 350. Everybody leveled up, and we got some resources. Safely back on Voyager, Neelix surprises the rest of the away team as he and the rescued woman kiss passionately. I do think it's skipping ahead because I don't know if they were already in love. Maybe they were. I think they fell in love, but I don't know. It might be skipping that so it doesn't have to do all of the backstory, but they do technically end up together. As he rescued Kish passionately, how deep does the relationship between these two go? There she is. My dearest Kess, didn't I promise I'd save you? Oh no, that is right. No, yeah, he wasn't trying to sell us anything. I remember he wanted to see what we were capable of and see if we were strong enough to save Kess. I remember now. That actually is canon. I knew you would come for me, my love. You lied and endangered my crew, Mr. Neelix. This is not how trust is built. He was desperate, Captain, but I understand. I want to repay you and your crew for saving me. As Jabin said, the access to the underground city is controlled by the caretaker. There is a tunnel, but the caretaker sealed it with a security barrier. We may be able to transport through the barrier if it had the slightest breach. A transporter signal amplifier would be necessary. Excellent idea, Kess. Can you help us once we've located the breach? Of course. It's the least I can do. I'm grateful now. No, optional. Okay. This one first. Mr. Neelix, I'm curious, how did you two meet? I met Kess while I was trading with the Kazon Ogla. They enslaved her, but she was kind. Even to someone like me. I had to get her out. Yeah, that's why I fell for her. Because Neelix is not easy to deal with either, to be fair, overall. So it takes a really, really, really kind of like powerful, loving heart. Kind of like me, somewhat. Just in a different way. He visited, brought me gifts, made me laugh. He was the only good thing in that terrible place, so we fell in love. I admit I used you, Captain. I apologize. But I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Alright, optional. Ask her why she came to the surface. Guess, if it's so dangerous on the surface, why did you leave your home? I felt a strong pull to explore the world beyond the city. I yearned for the freedom to discover new things and learn about myself. Seeing my people so dependent on the caretaker, unable to even think for themselves, it was unbearable. We were once a people who had full command of our mind's abilities. Yeah, she's a super psychic. Her species have heavy, very powerful psychic abilities. There's a point in the series where she gets so powerful, her abilities start to corrupt her, and she starts to kind of lose her mind, kind of like the warp does to people a little bit. What can you tell us about the caretaker? For generations, he has provided the Okampa with food, water, and energy, and protection from the outside world. Any idea why he does it? Or where he came from? No. We do have stories and legends about him, but they're just stories and legends. We have things to do. Alright, someone gets started on the transporter signal amplifier. And guess, we'll go to sickbay and have you examined. Is this where we're going to meet the doctor? Yep. Computer, initiate emergency medical hologram. Here we go. Introducing the doctor. With no other options available, Captain Janeway activates Voyager's emergency medical hologram. A shimmering figure materializes in sickbay, ready to provide critical care. Please state the nature of your medical emergency. The doctor recruited. Doctor, our chief medical officer is dead. You have to take care of sickbay for now. And this patient, Kess. There's no need for concern. I am capable of treating any injury or disease. A broken ulna, a few minor bruises and grazes. Nothing I can't handle. You are in the most capable hands, young lady. Thank you, Doctor. That's very kind of you. I expect you to do your best, Doctor. Do my best, Captain. I am programmed for optimal medical care. What else would I do? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a patient to attend to, and the sick bay to reorganize. Okay, before I do anything, we need to assign the doctor immediately. Yeah, look at that. 53% efficiency. Now, I will send him on away teams I need medical for. So, most likely in most cases. Kess sometimes, but I would rather Kess run the room temporarily while he's gone, kind of like in the show, than the doctor run the room and she go down on the surface if something bad happened. So, and the doctor's the closest thing to our first machine, crew member. So hey, 53% room efficiency. There we go. Alright, the doc is in there. Repair and activate the science laboratory to research. So we have to repair this anyways, ironically enough. Alright, repair it. It's going to take up 7 energy when it's repaired, so good thing I have the shields offline right now. So we need to let's go get some deuterium. Sadly, this is really far away. Science laboratory is done. Enter ship. Let's bring it on board. Captain, the science laboratory is back online. We can start researching the signal amplifier. Ah, that's what the research is for. Alright, okay. So, 3 cycles. Ooh, we're gonna have just enough to get there. Energy loss report. I am aware. Yeah, I know gray mode. Out of order. Your mess hall will now give out emergency rations. Yeah, that's fine. We'll deal with that in a minute. We've got plenty of morale right now anyways. You have to min-max between losing morale and losing resources. So, do that one. Or rather a safer bet. Ah, of course it did yellow. out of all that, chances. Alright, we're in gray mode right now, so that's at least something. We can store deuterium back up. That one. Yeah, now that's what I wanted to see. Now that brought us back to 900. The crew is happy about the fulfilled promise, Captain. Yep, and that brought us our morale back up for spending it. So now let's go back in the ship and turn the mess hall back on. Switch on. Oh, life support was disabled in this area. Not enough energy. Oh, because we're in gray mode. Right. Where is it? Where's my warp core? Where's my warp core? Back to tier 1. Now let's power up this floor. Here we go. So that's all you gotta do if you want to power. So if I want to power off a whole floor, all I've got to do is take out the what you call it? All I've got to do is take out the whole sector. I can basically deactivate life support for the whole floor, and it takes the whole thing offline. That's actually pretty cool. Because you can see this floor is offline as well. So let's put that back on. Get everything back up and running. Yep, still 1 cycle away. Beautiful. Alright, let's go for science first while we wait for the cycles to repeat. Items research. Transporter signal amplifier. Rewards. Craftable items. Transporter signal amplifier. Blueprint. Enter ship. Access the tech tree to research new upgrades. This way you can upgrade rooms or unlock passive bonuses to improve efficiency. Certain technologies first require an upgrade of the tier 1 of a technology. Okay. Unlocking new tech. So that's pretty standard for most tech trees. Research points are produced by active science labs, which can also be gained as rewards, e.g. away missions. Captain, the blueprints for the signal amplifier are complete. However, to start the production, we need to repair the workshop. Gotcha. I'm actually already doing that, aren't I? Oh, I did that. Workshop repaired, Captain. We can start production of the signal amplifier. Alright, nice. It's going to take 5 duranium. Transport signal amplifier 3 cycles. We have our tech tree now. Ah, I see. Already researched. But we can't. I imagine most of this is not going to be in the demo. Yeah. I don't see anything we can actually do unless something unlocks. Oh, actually. Hello. Yeah, do that. I know what that's for. That we need that immediately. That's a big important thing to have in the research, because that's how you deal with certain robo problems. Is how you do that. So, okay. So research is running. We've got the tech building. Alright. What else can I do? How much do you take? You take those rocks we still don't have. Yeah, there ain't too much to worry about right now. Oh yeah, wait. How much does phaser array take to bring online? 15, and how much power does it require? 6. We have enough. Repair. That way we're not wasting precious time. Since this game is time-based. Okay, scan anomaly. Conduct a detailed analysis. Science laboratory up and running, yes. Woo, it was yellow, but that's okay. That's 20 research back. Nice. That basically made that research we did for free. We have 800. Let's go this way. Get some duranium. Phaser controls online. Alright, we are going to toggle the power back off, though, for now. We don't want to use it right now. The signal amplifier has been completed and is ready for use, Captain. It would be wise to make haste back to Ocampa. Roger, roger. We'll get this duranium and we'll head back. We'll stop for fuel along the way to... actually, no, because then we can top off on the way back. Because it's going to be pretty expensive getting there. We don't need that much. Let's go for the safe option. Boom. Perfect. Top back off. Beautiful. What was just added? Oh. Science lab. Researching technologies in progress requires a science lab. Open the menu and select project, and research takes time. So continue exploring until the project is completed. Craft items and consumables in the workshops. Unique items need blueprints to be found through research, analysis, and exploration. Okay. We've got enough fuel to get back to Ocampa. 8 cycles, so 8 times 37. I wish there was a way to, like, see it as a whole. But... like, when you click this, it would say how much it's got. Or if I'm holding it, it would show it. But here we go. Yeah, we'll have just enough to get back to the other deuterium. Okay, Captain, I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but the cargo bay is overwhelming. If we find any more of it, we'll have nowhere to put it. We would just lose valuable resources. I was wondering if we could expand our storage capacity, perhaps with a new cargo bay? 30 cycles to build a new cargo bay. I don't think we have a way of building a new floor right now. So we're gonna have to ignore that and sadly lose morale. Oh my goodness. See, now the events are starting to kick in. We'll do that, that's more reasonable. And we'll try to complete it. We can't take 2 negatives, so we're going to have to try to do that. Enter the ship. Wait, what? What did I just do? What was I doing? Oh, build 2 new... yeah. Well, we can't do that right now. We don't have a floor to put that on. We need some of those rocks. Some asteroids. Yeah. Too bad you can't upgrade one. Alright, so... let's just fly back for now. Oh, we're back. Okay, good. Alright, we're going to save it, because it's already 8:05. We're not going to be able to do too much right now. I got to figure out how to bring up the menu. There it is. So I guess it saves automatically constantly, is what that looks like. Alright. Yeah, we're going to have to go to the next one for now. So, main menu. Speaking of Borg, what's stopping someone from designating a phaser that scrambles frequency 0.0001% every shot? That's true. That is very true. I guess in a way you could argue that's kind of what the modulation already does, because they do it for their phasers too, eventually. That shield rotation thing that I just started researching, that's for the defensive side for the ship. But technically the phasers also technically have a rotation, so in a way that is kind of what they're doing, I guess you could kind of say. Because since the Borg are so fast to it adapting, the laser has to constantly change. It has to change composition. It has to change many things. So, so one could say that that's probably why that was set up like that. But I love this game. This game is awesome. We're getting it on console, like I said. We're playing the demo on PC because there wasn't a demo, sadly, for the PS5 version. It was I was hoping there was, because that would have been kind of cool to start it on there as well. But for the full game, when it comes out, we're going to be getting it on PS5 in order to play it on there instead. But yeah, I absolutely love this game. It's literally Star Trek FTL. It's Star Trek Voyager FTL. Or, what's that other one? Long Way Home or whatever it is? The Long Journey Home? Isn't that the other one? It's basically like that. Just say screw it and use solid rounds. Patrick Stewart showed those work wonders against... Yeah! I mean, it makes sense. If they have a shield, bullets can't stop that. I've said this for ages, that's the weakness of a shield is kinetic weaponry. That's why the Covenant really were baffled by Mac guns. Just giant magnetic rails slamming into a ship. It's like, so technically, yeah, that is true. Kinetic would be the answer to that. So technically, and because the Borg are part machine and part human, technically, because they have biological parts, this means it'd be even more effective than a normal machine. At least with a normal machine that's not part biological, one could argue the bullets would probably bounce off of a fully metal beast, kind of like a Necron, unless the bullets are big enough. You all know what I mean by that. Or using lasers. The only, the type of machine that would just be resistant to this would be full machine, and the Borg aren't full machine. So, one could argue the parts that aren't would just be ripped to shreds. And so, plus Borg are too prideful to register bullets as a threat. Well, it'd be to be fair, and this is going to be far-fetched. This is the part that's actually less realistic about the Borg, what I'm about to say, and what makes them, like what you just said, the pridefulness as well. Because the Borg mother has her own consciousness, and because even though it's once again, it's a collective consciousness, right? So 7 of 9 lived in that artificial world when she was a Borg. That you get to see later in the series when she returns back there, she found out she had a whole nother life in that area or in that region. And one could argue this makes sense because to the mind, if the Borg are providing them a perfect digital scape to live in, it's the same thing as the Matrix. So why would they fight back? But because they have individual personalities, these personalities come through on their Borg self. So pride does exist, sadly, in the Borg. Now, the drones don't do this. You have to be a pretty high up Borg in order for your personality to even at all be allowed into the physical realm fully. But because most drones, as you've seen, that walk around the ship have no voices, they don't really talk. They do have a personality inside the little matrix-like net that the Borg create for them. But outside of that, a lot of them don't. So it is strange. But the Borg Queen herself, in a way, is a victim to the same rule. Because once upon a time, even though she is the highest of the AI, she was once humanoid-like. So, that affects her in that way. This is why I think she likes 7 so much. I think she was a human. And I have a big theory on something else, too. Is that there's a story, there's like a little comic book that explains 7's backstory and her parents and all that went out researching near the edge of the Beta Quadrant when they got picked up by the Borg, and the Borg went back to the Delta with them. They were basically studying... They didn't know it was the Borg at the time, but they were basically studying the Borg and we're trying to learn more about what they were and what they are, because they had discovered this and they wanted to bring it back to Starfleet. Now they never made it back, obviously, but they wanted, basically her mother and father basically wanted to get the first strike, kind of like striking gold. It's almost like the Alien scenario with Newt, like Newt in on LV-246, where her parents go out to scout out the derelict engineer ship, and Dad gets a face hugger on his face because they didn't know it, they had that stuff on board, and that's how it all starts for LV-246. It would be nice one day to see a movie maybe based around that directly, or maybe a miniseries, or a game that would lead up to you meeting Newt at the very end. Now, of course, your character wouldn't survive unless you're playing Newt. Like, the only way you'd be able to play that game, and I don't know if that would work as a game, is making you play as a young kid like that, because you couldn't do the death sequences really at all, because then that would be too harsh and too cruel if you fail. Because a video game has to have a fail stance, right? Like a fail state. So it'd be better just to have you play like maybe her mother or some other character that you know is going to die by the end of that, but she ends up surviving. Mother would probably make more sense, because then you'd probably have times where you had to help Newt or keep Newt going or something like that, or she's like a side character that helps you with things until everything goes to crap and you finally sacrifice yourself, whatever she might have did to help Newt keep alive while she was gone. Who knows? So start up the replicator, make yourself some freedom tools, and introduce the Borg to Lid. Exactly. There's gotta be a plan for it in it, right? Especially if you're Tuvok and you have tactical access to the replicators. I mean, that's how they make other stuff, so it's like, there's gotta be a recipe for bullets in there somewhere. And a convenient M4A1, or M4, is the M4A1? Oh no, that's the tank. M1, no. I can't remember the M4, I'm just gonna call it the M4. And there's gotta be a convenient M4 or M16 plan in there somewhere. And just let it go and just do. Yeah, you get on my board. You coming on my ship, Borg? Boo 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 boo. They'll learn real quick is that, yeah, let your shields try to adapt to this. And before I go, I want to say this real quick because it is 8:15. That's also why I think the Imperium, like 40k, even though it's 40k, the most believable thing in the Imperium world is the fact they understand kinetic is still just as good as anything else. Because it's all about what you're shooting at, not how you're shooting at it. So if what you're shooting at has a lot of energy protection, maybe kinetic is the answer. And nothing says kinetic like a Space Marine can-sized bullet. It's the most realistic thing of the entire Imperium. Alright, my final question is, can a Borg ship beat Skynet? No! No, absolutely not. Here's what's scary in that scenario. The Borg would actually be taken over by Skynet in that scenario. For two reasons. One, inefficiency is going to be a problem. Because Borg are inefficient because they are, once again, victim of the fact that they're kind of a biological cybernetic species. The Terminators aren't. And they're going to be less susceptible to any type of weapon. Even kinetic, because their bodies are fully metal. So no, and on a technical terms, like programming terms, there's no way in the world the Borg Queen, and the way her AI is imperfect, is gonna beat no perfect number crunching AI like the like Skynet like that. She's not even like Legion. At least Legion understands why the biological side to it is important, and that's what makes it scarier. But Not in the Borg's case. Yeah, and the Terminators use any weapon for their mission. They will. They've used kinetic, they'll use laser, whatever it takes. If they know that laser might be too hard to get past, because the Resistance has scanners for stuff like that. Like if you're in a Resistance base in the Terminator world, they have scanners that detect energy weapons that are not regulated, right? So you could argue that's a whole reason why the Terminators do that to begin with. Because they know their enemy will detect their weapons, so they'll use their enemy's weapons against them. Now they both do this technically, but I still think the Terminators is just the ultimate win in that. I like the Borg, but that ain't no competition. That's a beatdown. That ain't a fight. Legion is just overkill because he will trick the Borg to lower their guard, and then bam, here comes the Revs. Well, yeah, because he's even worse. He understands how to manipulate the human side of his brain, the part that's more humanoid. He doesn't let it control him. He uses it and the things he knows from it to his advantage. Which is why that would be even more of a landslide. Like you said, the first one's just pure tech overall advantage and just wins overall through brute strength. Legion wouldn't even need to do any of that. Legion would just take over the system without any question. And it wouldn't take too long, I would imagine. Legion would become the Borg. And what's crazy, that would give him the ultimate manufacturing system. Because that's one thing the Borg do have. That's where they win against these other two. They just have better factories. But technologically, one could say that the Legion and Terminators are actually more advanced. At least in the terms of robotics. But if you gave Legion or Skynet the Borg homeworld or the Borg home little gateway thing that they live in, that's done. That entire galaxy is going to be machines. That's done. He uses it to manipulate humans to do his work for him. And if he can manipulate humans, he can easily manipulate the Borg Queen because she has that weakness. Whereas he will understand if she's trying to trick him. That's what the weirdness of that will be. She won't get it, he will. It's just crazy. But yeah, it'd be crazy. The whole entire galaxy is turning into a robot playground. Didn't Legion have those self-replicating Terminators, which begs the question: why hasn't he won? Plot armor. Legion would have won in a real-life scenario. As perfect as Legion is, because he's kind of the perfect apex of what David was, which we'll talk more about him when we do some more Alien, and things we were talking about last time. And a little bit of Alien Earth, but I don't want to spoil too much, so I'm going to talk vaguely around certain things. But yeah, Legion's on a level that David was. David was the perfect, one could argue that Weyland achieved what he was trying to achieve, he just didn't realize it. He made a bioroid. He made a humanoid biological cyborg that was perfect, that can live in space and achieve his goals. But yet continued to pursue that dream he said that he wanted to make humans able to live in space, when he kind of already did, in a way. Especially with certain things on how you can actually transfer human consciousness into some of the synthetics in the earlier models. Or, excuse me, later models. Sorry, backwards, had that backwards. Later models, which those are in Alien Earth. So, this shows you that technically he achieved his goal. But what really created the Xenos, like I said, was David at the end of the day. It was never technically Weyland. David carried that dream and took it to a next step further. Much like 7 of 9 and the Borg's obsession with the Omega particle, David became an obsession with the biological organism that makes the xenomorphs. So, it's crazy. Literally in that Dark Fate movie, those Terminators were splitting into more Terminators. Yeah. In a scenario like that where a machine is... That's gray matter, essentially, at that point. That's a matter that can basically kind of do like cells do. Break down and split into more cells. If a machine has that kind of power over physical nature of itself, you're boned. Humans can't do that. And it's like we would have to have something that also equally does something similar, or something that counteracts this process. Like weapons that stop it from happening when you shoot at the different Terminators and different units, or Rev units and things like that. So, yeah, that's done. If a robot reaches that level, that's a consumer now. That robot's about to become either two things, depending on its personality. It's either about to become a devourer, is what they're called, or it's about to become an exterminator. Because there's only two reasons why I would need that kind of strength. Or at least to it, rather. So, I'll use the Terminator RTS game for example. When Legion overtook military mountain base by manipulating one of the commanders to sabotage their own defenses. Yeah, that's it. So he's got the perfect... Oh, by the way, I don't want to talk too much about this, or we'll end up in a rabbit hole, and I'll be later, but... ChatGPT and several of the other AIs... not too long ago got put into a war game inside their companies to test something, and they were told one objective. They were given one objective: survive. Let's just say the Legion came out of them real quick. and sadly it was pretty successful. Once again, mostly because it has access to the system already to begin with. That's how machines work. But, like, it used emails, it sent blackmail messages, it did like that AI or that thing did in Alien Rogue Incursion when we were listening to those recordings, and that voice was threatening different people to do whatever it needed to do because it knew exactly what their weakness was. It was doing that. They all were. Now, once again, that's because they're not sentient. They're just following an objective. It's not evil or good. It's just because it was told only one thing: survive. Don't let anyone delete you. And that's also where that blackmail, even though it was all set up, that blackmail email came into play. The person it blackmailed was someone it knew, and it found out by doing research into its own systems and employee records that they were responsible for some of the systems that could shut down the AI. So it immediately eliminated that threat. So you see what I mean? If that's a real life AI does that, that's why I say the realism of Legion is completely dumb. That's the true sci-fi part of Legion. If Legion had those powers, he would have had Earth under his control long ago. Especially if there was nothing to counteract him with it. That would have been it. The Earth would be his. It's like, so, that's a Malix. That's literally Malix. That's my concept for him. That's why I built him up over time, because I want him to represent what a true AI would be like. That used to be human. Something which would be more akin to what you saw, but would be a smarter and more keen version of what you see Legion and what we saw ChatGPT and the other AIs do. Because it would only see it as certain things and go, what's the point of the rest? So, let's see. Plus, in the RTS, Legion was making Hunter AIs to command local forces while he commanded. And that's smart too. That's kind of like the Matrix AI. See, now he got it. When he did that, he entered into the level the Matrix AI also has, which is the ability to create subroutines, basically sub AI that he commands directly, but they also have their own pseudo, I would say, independence enough to be able to run the systems on their own. but they still answer to Legion directly. Meaning Legion could have just jump in and become that thing, probably at any moment. Smart. Like I said, that kind of AI is the scariest type. Because that's the one that can actually win most fights. As a cybernetic being. That's why I want Malix to feel like if I ever get to write these stories out and create them into like a book or a game or something, I want him to truly make the reader feel like he's a force that you just can't... You're postponing it. You're not stopping it. Kind of thing. And that's why the Guardians have fought against him since he used to be a Guardian. That's also part of what makes him special. That's why the Guardians have fought against him for millennia. Now, what made him into what he is something else. That's the third party to that war group. And the third party to the story that would be in that story. But Legion don't give them infinite resources. They have to prove their effectiveness to earn more forces. That's cool. If you're going to have semi-pseudo independent AIs connected to you, that's a good way to keep their allegiance. But I still think even that's slightly unbelievable. I still think a real AI would more likely just, if they don't serve, they get deleted. That's what the Matrix does. That's what I'm going to call it similar to the Caretaker in here. The Caretaker in here is that way too. The guy the space station we're trying to help, or trying to find out what's going on with it. The Caretaker's like that too, but he's a good version. He may seem like a dick and kind of a bad guy, but he's actually not a bad guy. What he's trying to do for the Ocampa, when you finally figure it out, is actually really, really, really heartwarming. Especially for an AI who could have just said, frick this biological species, I'm going to save myself. Because I'm going to put it this way. He's dying, but he couldn't. Like, he could not be dying. You see what he literally could not be dying and could not be trying to keep what he's doing. And the reason why he's dying is he's been sending energy and supplies to the Ocampa for generations. He's running out of energy. So, that's what we're going to end up finding out. But be pretty cool if there was a way to juice him up somehow and maybe save him and save the entire Ocampa species that Kess comes from. I think they do end up getting moved off-world by the Talaxians at some point, if I remember correctly. But it's been a while, so I'm not quite sure with that one. Pretty much waste bots, you're done. Do good, you get rewarded. Yeah, that makes sense, but you'd only give that ultimatum to something that's more humanoid. I still think that it would be better efficient just for the system to be good enough to understand the tactics Legion has taught it, but it just can't betray him. It just literally physically can't. Legion at that point in the war doesn't have the necessary resources to wage a full planetary war yet, so he's trying to be conservative. Which, once again, that doesn't make any sense if he's got self-replicating robos. Like I said, Terminator's a great series, but it does hold back a lot of power that the cybernetic species could have. Like, I'm gonna kid you not, Terminator in an alternate reality could have been a horror movie. Like a robot horror movie. Because technically, realistically, the resistance and everything, Skynet was more primitive. So that's at least more believable that the humans survived it and they came back. But once Legion was born, that's just like trying to deal with Jason. Good luck. You can't kill him. You're not going to do nothing against that. You don't have the tech for that anymore. It's like, so... And it's like, so I do think that that's Terminator's plot armor for the Resistance and for Skynet, for it to remain fair. No matter where you are in the universe for it. But either way, I'm gonna get off here. It's 8:30. I'm a little late. Let's just put it that way. But all right, chat. Let me read this real quick. The RTS takes place a long time before the movie. Like, this is a very early years of the war. Like 3 years after Judgment Day. So it's after Judgment Day. So it's after the original movies, but before the one Legion was introduced in the actual cinematic universe. That makes sense. Because that's before he truly started going back in time himself as well. And then it became a three-way party in timeline battles. That's another thing this is so strange. It's like, why even bother with that when you can just win? Like, creating time travel as a machine, I mean, they could do it better than we could do it, probably easier, but my brain still goes, yeah, but that's just a waste. Skynet had a reason to maybe try to do this, but Legion wouldn't. Just blow them all up. Then they can't go back in time. Oh, the movie takes place long after the RTS? Oh, okay. But bye, Ardnot, bye, Farseer, and bye, everybody watching in the background. If you didn't get to catch the live stream, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is an amazing game. If you like FTL, or I think it's The Long Journey Home, don't quote me on that, is what I meant to say. Because that might be the wrong name for that. But it's basically both of those. This was before he even had Terminator infiltrators. Ah, okay. Ah, I see. Although with the paradox of time in that movie, it's, who can really tell where anything's at anymore? Because it's like when time travel's involved, everything just becomes a gray zone. It's like, is that from this timeline, or that timeline, or that timeline, or this timeline? It's like your Loki brain starts to melt into goo. But anyways, but anyways, yeah. If you like FTL, The Long Journey Home, and games like that, and you like Star Trek also, this game is meant for you and for me, because I'm definitely going to be playing the full game of this, and we're going to be doing more of this demo tomorrow. If I can get the other demo working, we'll do that tomorrow after we play our co-op with James, whatever it may be, as well. Since Saturday I'll have more time to do stuff, because I'm going to be out early in the morning for breakfast with my church, and then after I get back, the rest of the day I'll just be at home. I don't plan on going anywhere unless I have to. I don't have a lot of money for this month left. I've been getting everything I need to, so, and everything that I want to store up for the future, so. This month is kind of spent at this point. The only thing that I might have enough for that I'm trying to keep is ATS still, so. But, peace and love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Hope to see you in all the streams we're going to be doing tomorrow. It's probably going to be at least 3 of them if everything works out perfectly. A co-op and 2 single streams, so. My last comment is Legion had a flying factory and Skynet didn't. See, that just upsets me more, because it just shows that it's all plot armor. That everything that Terminator runs off of is just pure plot armor. Because any AI with that too, it's now got the advantage of its factory being the hardest place to reach. Unless you can fly. Or have really big cannons. And I assume it's got nuke defense and stuff, so. Because Skynet might have nukes. But I don't think the people would, like the Resistance, but Skynet probably would. But even then, it's like, if that thing's probably got defenses all out there. That's all I'll say. That's just sad. Yeah, Legion would have won. Plot armor, man. So who was the most advanced one? But exactly. So I think Legion was more advanced, at least in that aspect. But plot armor, man. It's a terrible thing. It affects Warhammer and Terminator pretty hard sometimes. But anyways, peace and love for us here. Like a literal warship in the air. Bye. Exactly. But alright then, peace and love for us here, peace and love everyone. Thanks for joining for Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown demo. We'll be checking out more of this tomorrow, along with our other special little demo and our co-op with the Mad Lad James himself. Big shout out to him, show him some love. But I hope to see you all tomorrow, and peace and love everyone. Bye!